Hey, what's up, YouTube? Bad news. The Smash World Tour Championship was canceled. It turns out Nintendo told them it was canceled over Thanksgiving. But that's not the end of the story. There's drama, intrigue, and what seems to be a little bit of mafia enforcement by Alan from Panda Global. It's a long story. I get into it on stream, and it's here for you right now. It's with an unbelievably heavy heart that we must announce that both the upcoming Smash World Tour Championships, as well as the 2023 Smash World Tour, must be canceled. Without any warning, we received notice the night before Thanksgiving from Nintendo that we could no longer operate. This is such a classic Nintendo move. This was especially shocking given our discourse with Nintendo the past 12 months. Since then, we've been working around the clock to take the proper steps logistically, as well as to prepare this statement with proper legal guidance. We are seriously grateful for all the support over the years, and we are incredibly proud of what we were able to build as a community. In 2022 alone, we connected over 6,400 live events worldwide. With 6,400 live events worldwide? Am I smoking reefer? That seems crazy. With over 325,000 in-person entrants, making the Smash World Tour, SWT, or The Tour, the largest esports tour in history for any game title. This guy's never seen Madden Nation on ESPN back in 2005. Come on, man. The championship would also have had the largest prize pool in Smash history at over $250,000. The 2023 Smash World Tour planned to have a prize pool of over $350,000. That being said, we are truly devastated that this is all being taken away. The impact the tour has had globally cannot be overstated. The amount of tournament organizers, competitors, and fans this will affect is hard to measure. Hey, I feel bad for them. They did actually just measure it in the last paragraph. I think it's going to affect 325,000 in-person entrants. The impact the tour has had globally cannot be overstated. The amount of tournament organizers, competitors, and fans this will affect is hard to measure. We realized just how much we could expand our spotlight to lesser known regions, as well as Smash World Tour prize pools in 2023 and beyond, establishing a much healthier ecosystem in the community around the world. We believe this decision by Nintendo sets all of that back significantly, which is incredibly disappointing. Truly, words cannot express how difficult this process has been. We had been preparing a one-of-a-kind event to crown our world champions, and we know just how hard the competitors have worked to get to this point. We were also projecting amazing viewership, since the 2021 Smash World Tour Championships had the highest viewership of any Smash event last year. We even had multiple independent documentary crews coming out, both domestic and international, to cover this historic event. Especially with the storylines coming into this year with a full global tour. With little COVID interference, the championships were going to break records and introduce so many new people to this amazing community. On a logistics note, we will be reaching out to those affected by the canceling of the Smash World Tour Championships. As many of you know, we lost a significant amount of money in the first 18 months of Smash World Tour. This was truly a labor of love for us. We don't know where everything will land quite yet with contracts, sponsor obligations, etc. In short, we'll be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars due to Nintendo's actions. That being said, we are taking steps to remedy many issues that have arisen from canceling the upcoming Smash World Tour Championships, especially for the players. The truth is, what makes this all even more disappointing is the approach Nintendo took in recent weeks compared to our discourse with them over the past 12 months. We truly believe things were progressing positively for quite some time. We had kept all of this progress quiet, but especially in light of both Nintendo's and their partner Panda's actions this year, we wanted to take the opportunity to write an open letter to Nintendo, as we don't know how much the higher-ups at Nintendo are even aware of the history and context of the last few years. In recent months, we have requested multiple times to communicate with them directly, but these requests were not granted. As a preface, we want to emphasize that there are some great people working at Nintendo, shout out to Miyamoto, baby, who have been advocating for the Smash community and the Smash World Tour, even if that was not reflected in Nintendo's recent actions. Likewise, we have nothing but the utmost respect for Panda's team, players, ambassadors, employees, and contractors, many of which are our friends and are truly incredible people, and, to our understanding, had little to zero knowledge of the damage Panda caused behind the scenes in the past year. Ooh, wait, is this a scorcher about Panda? How we got here. Ironically, we thought there was a chance that last year's Smash World Tour Championships and the tour overall were going to be shut down. In November 2021, after the Panda Cup was first announced, Nintendo contacted us to jump on a call with a few folks on their team, including a representative from their legal team. That's terrifying. We truly thought we might be getting shut down, given the fact that they now had a license licensed competing circuit and partner in Panda. Once we joined the call, we were very, did Panda actually boom this? I'm sorry, is Smash World Tour canceled because of Panda? I guess they're going to explain. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm sorry. I apologize. Nintendo reached out to us to let us know they had been watching us build over the years and wanted to see if we were interested in working with them and pursuing a license as well. That's exciting. They made it clear that Panda's partnership was not exclusive, and they said it had not gone unnoticed that we had not infringed on their IP regarding game modifications and represented Nintendo's values well. They're using only unfrozen Pokemon Stadium. They made it clear that game modifications were their primary concern in regards to coming down on events, which also made sense to us given their enforcement over the past few years in that regard. That lengthy conversation changed our perspective on Nintendo at a macro level. It was incredibly refreshing to talk to multiple senior team members and clear the air on a lot of miscommunications and misgivings in the years prior. We explained why so many in the community were hesitant to reach out to Nintendo to work together, and we truly believed Nintendo was taking a hard look at their relationship with the community and ways to get involved in a positive manner. We went into 2021's championships a lot more confident, but we were still skeptical to take what they said at face value, given Nintendo's history with the community. We specifically held off announcing 2022 Smash World Tour at that event, per the request of Nintendo. The aim was to get licensed before our 2022 tour was announced and kicked off in March. I think that's a great idea. During that time period of December to March, we continued our talks with Nintendo. For the first time, we felt like Nintendo was being consistently straightforward, transparent, and direct in answering our questions. We also began finalizing details of the 2022 Smash World Tour with various tournament organizers around the world, this time with more confidence than ever. Didn't they just say that they weren't going to go forward? I guess they just weren't going to announce it. It's a little dangerous to announce to even begin working on things without a license. However, we quickly found that many organizers were concerned about joining up in 2022. They told us they had been told by Alan, the CEO and co-founder of Panda, that we were going to get shut down and we're not coming back in 2022. Oh, this is where Mr. Panda comes in. Of course, that's directly contradicted our conversations with Nintendo, but we felt we could not defend ourselves properly to organizers because we felt that our conversations with Nintendo should be kept private until we had our seemingly imminent licensing deal. So we decided to approach Nintendo with this very issue directly, explaining the attempted sabotage that was going on and our inability to speak freely. Oh wow, they're trying to Game of Thrones this. There's some things going on in the background. Nintendo was very sympathetic to our situation and reassured us on a few counts. 1, they reminded us and reassured us that Nintendo is only looking to shut down IP infringement related to game mods and not the unlicensed Smash World Tour. 2, that the Panda CEO does not represent Nintendo, and they would have to have a conversation with him about his behavior. 3, they reminded us and reassured us that Panda's license is not exclusive and that they can see the two circuits coexisting. And 4, they reminded us that Nintendo's goal was not to gatekeep or trap the community, and that license guidelines would be accessible and clear. This call again bolstered our confidence overall, not only in what we were building with the Smash World Tour, but in Nintendo's approach and potential trajectory in working with the community long term. We were excited to invest more into that community. It was around this time as well, in late January that is, when we submitted our license application for 2022 after working with Nintendo to best meet their specifications. Unfortunately, the attempts from Panda to undermine the Smash World Tour did not stop, as the CEO continued to tell organizers we were definitely not coming back in 2022, and if we did, we'd get shut down shortly after announcement. What is this dude thinking? Was he going around telling people that these people weren't going to be around or that they were the only Nintendo circuit? Interesting. Furthermore, organizers were told that their individual events would also be at risk if they were on the Smash World Tour. Oh, that's scary. Imagine you run Genesis or Gommel and Smash World Tour comes to you, says, we want to give points, we want to give support, we want to be a Nintendo event. And you're being told on the other hand that your event's going to get shut down if you go with them. It's almost like a mob enforcement. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. A few organizers told us this directly as the primary reason they did not participate in the tour this year, which we completely understood. We did not want organizers to feel like it would add any risk to be on the Smash World Tour, even if we believed that behind the scenes everything was okay based on what Nintendo has told us directly. Nintendo's response to our application came slowly, which did not surprise us. They reached out in March, a few days before our announcement, and we went back and forth on the feasibility of the scope, especially since our tour was global and Nintendo of America would have to coordinate with other Nintendo teams. We kept Nintendo in the loop of our announcement plans, but we understandably ran out of time for the formal license. Still, we relied on our other conversations with Nintendo and pressed forward with the 2022 tour. Scary. This caused our application to go into limbo, and that a decision could not be made at this time. We discussed other approaches and ideas, and eventually Nintendo recommended at this stage to apply for a single event license for our December championships, which would also help get the ball rolling to start working on 2023 with a much longer lead time. True. Next section, Panda Cup. This is where it's going to get juicy. This is going to get juicy as hell. Around the same time, Panda Cup began heavily recruiting events for their circuit. The CEO continued to tell organizers we would be getting shut down shortly, and also added that any events that participated in the Panda Cup would not be allowed to be on the Smash World Tour. This exclusivity surprised us, not only because of the Nintendo conversations regarding coexisting, but also because we were not exclusive. And even back in January, we told organizers they could be on both with zero issues from us. At first, Panda targeted events that were not on the Smash World Tour, including those who did not join because of the aforementioned warnings. A few of these events had broadcast deals with a popular tournament broadcaster, Beyond the Summit, BTS. The CEO of Panda wanted broadcasting rights to be included as part of the deal of the events joining the Panda Cup. Most of the events refused to break their contracts, so Panda approached Beyond the Summit directly to try and get the rights released. BTS had very little motivation to give up the broadcast rights for free, so they declined to get involved, causing the CEO of Panda to escalate things quickly. We were told he made a variety of threats to Beyond the Summit, including shutting down their entire Smash operation in 2023 if they did not eventually join Panda Cup. After BTS held firm, the CEO of Panda warned they would get Nintendo directly involved, putting broadcast rights for all tournaments in jeopardy. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, BTS or Beyond the Summit is very famous recently for running Smash Summits in both Smash Ultimate and Super Smash Bros. Melee. They have been some of the highest prize pool and highest viewership invitational Smash events of the last few years, and they have been some of my favorite events of all time. So the thought that these events would get taken away is very scary. In the end, most events with Beyond the Summit broadcasting contracts chose to side with Beyond the Summit and did not join the Panda Cup after all the turmoil. During all of this, we still kept an open line of communication with Nintendo. What was Nintendo saying to these guys? Nintendo's like, we haven't approved your license. At this point, it feels like maybe the Panda guy was being honest because Nintendo is not giving them a license. I guess what I don't know is what the real conversations between Panda and Nintendo are. And if Nintendo said they were going to talk to the Panda guy about his behavior that was supposedly unacceptable, it's very weird that he would continue doing these things. During all of this, we still kept an open line of communication with Nintendo as we prepared our submission for our championship events. For the end of year event, the 2022 Smash World Tour Championship. We also expressed our serious concern about how Panda was talking to community organizers and their lack of ethics in how they approached Beyond the Summit. We felt a line had been crossed that could not be ignored. Again, we were reassured that the CEO of Panda does not speak for Nintendo and that they are frustrated with all of the fracturing happening behind the scenes due to his behavior. It feels like Nintendo could just fix it. It feels like Nintendo could just go to everyone, could make a statement about like what is and isn't legal, which they said earlier in this document they would do. Here are the rules. We just don't want game mods. We don't want people to have Frozen Stadium. We don't want people to have texture packs. We don't want people to download ROMs of the game, things like that. We also discussed strategy in submitting our new application for the December event, so it seems like they had to make a second one, including potentially changing the name of the Smash World Tour and if that would be beneficial. We cannot get into specifics of license requirements due to our NDA with Nintendo, but again, Nintendo was very helpful in the preparation process, and we were on the right track to submit again, this time with many months of lead time. We submitted our proposal on April 9th, 2022. After many events declined, Panda had no choice to pursue events that were already on the Smash World Tour, meaning they would have to drop off the Smash World Tour mid-season to join the Panda Cup. For many organizers, this was a deal breaker, as they saw no reason that their event could not have more points count towards both circuits. They were also concerned that more fracturing would occur. Very reasonable. At this point, Panda Cup was not left with many events for their circuit. However, at some point in April, the exclusivity rule changed and events became eligible to be on both the Smash World Tour and the Panda Cup. So the exclusivity rule, I believe they put in quotes because this is a rule that was talked about by Panda, but not a rule that was given by Nintendo. And so they are putting it in quotes because this rule wasn't really a rule and it wasn't really changed. The truth came out and the events could be both. Interesting. Additionally, multiple events were then issued Nintendo licenses very quickly after the events were publicly announced. This caught us by surprise because we were repeatedly told by Nintendo that this was not possible. All of these instances were a great demonstration of the rules for thee but not for me umbrella we felt we were under. I think so. Is that what Panda giving the Nintendo license to events through their partnership with Nintendo, I assume they're talking about? Interesting. The Panda Cup was finally announced on May 26, 2022. Our communications slowed down dramatically dramatically with Nintendo, since at this point, all we were waiting for were the next steps regarding our December championships and beginning talks for the 2023 Smash World Tour. Nintendo was very slow to respond to our many bumps, even though they were aware that we submitted in early April with the intention of announcing the event in July, giving more than enough time for a decision or a discussion on next steps using the timeframes that they provided to us. We continued to push back the announcement for the championships in the hopes that following Nintendo's directives would help our relationship in planning for 2023. I don't know if the author is glossing over their own fuck-ups, because it doesn't seem like fuck-ups as much as just hoping Papa Nintendo gives them what they need, but it seems like they could be, I should say, misreading what they believe is Nintendo supporting them and wanting them to succeed, with Nintendo actually slow rolling them and eventually going to take this tournament away. I think there's a very pessimistic view of everything that has happened here. That is, Nintendo did give the rights to the Panda Cup, Nintendo will not approve the Smash World Tour and knew that early on, and that a couple people at Nintendo were maybe giving them false hope this whole time. It's what it kind of feels like. After no response for months, we felt that we had no choice but to announce the championships in August. Nintendo finally responded and mentioned another event that had their team incredibly busy, which is why there were delays. They were very apologetic for the long silence and said they completely understood that we had to announce. They mentioned the discussions have been much slower than expected and that there had not been any decision yet. Oh no, any decision yet? After continued delays in communication, we finally reconvened with Nintendo at the end of September, nearly 4 months after our submission. I feel like the writing is on the wall for them not getting the approval right now. This is heartbreaking for sure. Nintendo once again reassured us nothing had been decided yet, which is very different from Nintendo reassuring them that if there are no modifications to the game, the license will be allowed, versus like we haven't decided what's going to happen. It just seems like all of a sudden the tenor shifted. They also reminded us that the Panda Cup execution, relationship, and the behavior of the CEO were all under evaluation, and it created a very complex situation, which Nintendo could not react to quickly. We raised concerns from organizers who were concerned about Panda being involved next year, as well as the future of the Smash World Tour. We offered to sit down with whoever else it may be beneficial to talk to, since there are many decision makers involved in Nintendo, many of which do not have full context and may see us as the guys who announced without a license. Nintendo said things were getting out of hand regarding the timeline, and that they will try to get the conversations progressing again. We were frustrated, but we still had no concerns about operating the Smash World Tour. That's absurd. Highlight this. What? Guys, I'm with you. I'm on your side. I want to give you a chance to run the Smash World Tour. I want to support it. You've got to have concerns at this point. A reasonable business person has concerns at this point. You guys should be shitting your pants. Have concerns. Yes, be afraid. Exactly. You're the dog in the burning room. Just about whether we'd be able to obtain a license and actively work with Nintendo on building in the community. Okay, maybe I'm misreading this. Maybe they only have no concerns about running the event because what they've heard from Nintendo, presumably in writing through an email, was that they would not stop an event that did not use any game modifications. So to them, we can run the event. We're just not going to have any game modifications. We will be a Nintendo official event. But we aren't going to have like Nintendo's blessing or Nintendo's marketing promotion or Nintendo's approval for the circuit next year, or some things that maybe Panda was saying the opposite of, which makes sense. The shutdown. Oh no. The bad news. We were not able to reconvene with Nintendo again until November, nearly 7 months after our application submission. Oh no. At this point, we were only 1 month out from the championships, and we pressed Nintendo a bit harder on how things were progressing. They said it had been a very complex issue navigating the planning for commercial licensing, but they were very empathetic to us feeling backburnered, especially given the context of Panda Cup's messy inception and execution. What lawyers speak? This is so funny. We're very empathetic. Oh no, you feel backburnered? That's because you've been backburnered by Nintendo. You've been talking to them about licensing for your event for 7 months, and they have not given it to you. In fact, you haven't even talked to them in months, and your event is only 1 month away. That's a yikers and a half. Nintendo told us there are many decision makers involved, and some have been advocating very hard for the community, the Smash World Tour, and the importance of the relationships to grassroots organizers. We again requested an opportunity to potentially meet with some of the other decision makers, presumably the ones who aren't supportive of those things. We were worried they did not know the full context of what had taken place this year. Nintendo said they'll see what they can do. Famous line, I'll see what I can do. That means that they're not going to even think about it. And that we should continue to meet regularly to Nintendo seems to be once every 2 months to discuss future planning. Finally, last Wednesday, November 23rd, we had our most recent call with Nintendo. Our Nintendo rep opened by letting us know that they are being asked to deliver the news that going forward, Nintendo expects us to only operate with a commercial license, and that we would not be granted one for the upcoming championships or any activity in 2023. We received this in writing as well. Oh no. This is what's making me think that the Panda guy was right. What if the Panda guy wasn't being an asshole? He was trying to tell them. He's literally got like the hotline to Miyamoto. And Miyamoto's like, dude, these guys can't run the event. And he's like, I'm trying to tell them, boss. They won't listen to me. They think I'm lying. I don't know if that's the case. It just feels like it could be, right? Based on like reading their timeline of events. We asked if they could clarify the reasoning for their decision. A reasonable question. Initially, Nintendo gave us a reason that seemed to be misinformed, and when we pushed back to ask for more details, Nintendo said they were unable to give any specifics and had to speak in generalities moving forward. Very weird. This was very frustrating. I mean, you really don't want generalities, right? The whole point is like, what did we do that was wrong? What could we do that was right? How can we build this event in the future? And generalities don't do that for you at the Smash World Tour. This was very frustrating given everything we had been told all year regarding accessibility and transparency and requirements. It felt as though Nintendo simply did not want the Smash World Tour to continue to exist. At this point, we now felt we had been strung along this entire time. Tough. As a last-ditch effort, we asked if we could continue running the championships and the tour next year without a license and shift our focus to working with them in 2024. Reasonable. We alluded to how the last year functioned in that capacity with a mutual understanding that we would not get shut down and focus on the future. This is that whole idea that if you're not using a modded one, they won't shut you down. We were told directly that those times were now over. Holy shit. They declared war. Oh, mamma mia. Those times are over, kid. This was the final nail in the coffin given our very particular relationship with Nintendo. This is when we realized it truly was all being shut down for real. We asked if they understood the waves that would be made if we were forced to cancel, and Nintendo communicated that they were indeed aware. Since this took place the night before Thanksgiving, it was incredibly difficult to process this completely unexpected bombshell. And we've been working. You haven't eaten any of your stuffing, Jimmy. He's like, Nintendo canceled me, Mom. It's been incredibly difficult to process this completely unexpected bombshell, and we've been working around the clock ever since. Once again, we want to apologize to every single person affected by this, including the players, staff, contractors, organizers, and fans. We also apologize for any of those who we could not communicate with the past few days. As you can imagine, this was an enormous decision that was not taken lightly. We had a lot to prepare to get everything sorted. We did not want to risk any premature leaks. We worked to get this statement out as quickly as possible, and we'll be in touch with all staff, contractors, and attendees regarding refunds, helping with travel arrangement changes, etc. Conclusion. To reiterate, we are incredibly devastated that any of this happened, and given the trajectory of Nintendo, we were truly hopeful that significant positive change was inbound. However, the way that the last few weeks have unfolded, we are extremely worried that all of that progress has been abruptly reversed. We understand that we are taking a massive risk by even sharing all of the above details. Our goal is not to burn bridges or make an expose on Nintendo. I feel like just take the sentence out, honestly. No one, I mean, I feel like I'm not thinking about that, but now that you said it, now I'm thinking about it a lot. You should just do that, Smash World Tour people. The article was good so far. This truly is an open letter. We genuinely are unsure of how much Nintendo is aware, and we're hoping that they will reconsider their approach to the grassroots community. We all love this community so much, and have tried to represent Nintendo well as we share that love with millions of fans worldwide. Nintendo originally communicated that their goals were to make both community and commercial licensing accessible and transparent in regards to requirements, like many other game publishers. Very reasonable. And to not function as a deterrent to tournament organizers, which they have in the past. Famously, Nintendo has shut down Smash events. They also made it clear that their goal was to not shut anything down unless violations were made against IP utilizing game modifications and things of that nature. Now it has reverted back to being very secretive with no clear guidelines and a willingness to abruptly shut down community efforts even after giving many indications that would not happen. To close, we ask that Nintendo reconsiders how it is currently proceeding with their relationship with the Smash community, as well as its partners. We are always open to continuing the conversation, and we hope we can be a part of the solution. Smash World Tour. What an absolute bummer. I can't imagine having an event next month and getting canceled by Nintendo, even when we've sold tickets, we've got players involved, we have sponsors involved, and we're gonna have to eat the cost. That is so brutal. Someone said that LD made a LD made a post? Oh, shit! LD, is he going for the throat? Alan spent several months basically running a protection racket, telling TOs, including BTS, it'd be a shame if your event got shut down for being unlicensed, in an effort to scare them into signing on to the cup. BTS will absolutely never participate in a circuit led by Alan. VGBC has been a pillar of the Smash community for over a decade, and as a fellow TO, it's absolutely gut-wrenching to see the Smash World Tour get rug pulled basically a week before their biggest event ever. The damage is enormous, and we urge Nintendo to listen to the community and reevaluate their relationship with the Panda Cup and Alan going forward. Holy! Aiden also posted about it. I will never attend a publicly licensed Nintendo or Panda Circuit event ever again. I will continue to support grassroots locals and majors, unaffiliated with Nintendo, that have been the lifeblood of our scene for 20 plus years. This is so extraordinarily disgusting and disheartening. This is from Eamon Gaiman, from The Yard, also a Smash TO, famous Smash TO. At every stage of Smash's competitive history, Nintendo has impeded our ability to succeed and grow. Story after story has surfaced of them intentionally seeking to stifle our scene, with many more that have unfortunately not seen the light of the public eye. They have done absolutely nothing substantial to help the community at any point. This community is built on the backs of those who have offered their love, free time, and dollars for over 2 decades now. In my eyes, it is no mistake that this is happening at a time when the community has made substantial steps in its own financial stability. While we still struggle compared to other large esports, the businesses established by our TOs are finally reaching a point of success and independence, not just without the help of Nintendo, but in spite of Nintendo's efforts to control them. It is now abundantly clear that Panda is simply a means to the end of controlling the scenes, choking our last drops of independence from us as a community. He went full 1776 on him, dude. Aiden's trying to rise up and storm the Capitol on the 6th, and that's why I fucking love him. That's my goat, dude. Holy.